Getting ready now for the start-finish line. Lights will turn to green. And across the line, it'll be the two Sierras coming down to the Air New Zealand hairpin. No start. Have that confirmed?
No, they're right at time yet, so they...
One warm-up lap beyond the pace car. But I tell you what, they lit up. And the cut and thrust has already started.
There's a fair amount of nerves out there, no doubt.
Well, until they give it a halt, I'll tell you what, Grice is warming the tyres up nicely as he zeroes in behind them and they work Jervis Key for the first time. Well, there's a little bit of confusion down here. We're just trying to make sure that the lights definitely didn't turn to green. And now they're trying to wave them down.
Clerk of the course, Robbie Lester, out there making sure that they do slow down. I think really that the cars in the front have ensured that there wasn't a start this lap round.
The team managers for the Texaco cars are going to be concerned at this stage because they were trying. There's Rudy there now looking, and he was going to try to get through to the 2 hours so that he could have one pit stop equal to the M3s, he said this morning. And of course,
they're right on the limit. They're right on the limit for that, aren't
they? They sure are. And having to do these extra laps, you can see how concerned he is.
Undisciplined start. I'm not prepared to let them go in that kind of undisciplined format. They were quite clearly told that I needed to see the tail of the field to give everybody a fair chance. There's everybody out there have got to have a fair opportunity at the start.
Klaus Niedzwitz, your reaction to the rather controversial start?
Oh, I don't know what's happened, but I can go my tempo what I would like to go, and because I stay on pole position, so I don't see a reason to stop the race.
Now, as soon as the pace car heads to the pits, don't be surprised if you see the Texacos get ready to stand on it. Now, it isn't going to be a slower start. Coming down for the start, the pace car goes to the pits and we should have the green light on. Beautiful start this time for the Nissan Mobil 500. 87 edition, they're across the line. Down the inside, Steve Soper, Grice on the outside of Pirro. Heading down to Air New Zealand hairpin for the first time, it will be Soper, the man looking for a hat trick this weekend. Niedzwitz sits right in behind him. Alan Grice is the next one. Brock's made a good start. He's in behind Pirro. And also a great start there from Georgie Fury as they head on to the downtown course and onto the long back straight.
We'll give him a lap to settle down and then start to discuss the tactics, as I understand it, from Steve Soper and the Eggenberger team. It will be a case of trying to get one car at least of those two away with a break on the field.
Oh, here's the big move as Emanuele Pirro and Alan Grice are at it and hard at it for third place. Grice just losing that spot to Emanuele Pirro, but will probably pick him up on the main street. We'll wait and see. The little M3 has just been absolutely blitzing the opposition.
Let's pick up the Sierras and see what that gap now back to Pirro is. As the Sierras come down past the start-finish line, we'll put a clock on the gap from Steve Soper, looking back to third place. And it is widened.
Oh, and problems already. Number 43.
That's Gruyard.
Gruyard has had a big off. He forgot to hit the brake at Drake by the look of it. And the police car has been nabbed down here as well into the tyre barrier, so whether or not...
Robbie Kerr and Glenn McIntyre's car, I wonder if the two of them were connected.
The two Texaco Ford Sierras, Klaus Ludwig, Klaus Niedzwitz. Niedzwitz at the wheel of the 7 car at the moment, leads from Steve Soper, and there is our race leader. The man, they say, who's in a class of his own.
I think there's two drivers in this car in a class of their own, isn't it?
It's surprising and hard to work out the tactics at the moment because Steve Soper is a good second slower than the lead car at the moment, and there he is in the picture behind now, but like he has dropped about 3 or 4 seconds, and I can see he's trying to pick his pace up, but I don't know whether maybe there might be a problem with the car at this stage, but it doesn't look like it's smoking or anything.
No, you're right. In fact, let's keep an eye on that 6 car because it has certainly dropped off the pace. There's one of the Volvos coming into the pits also. Our boys in the pits will be reporting on that.
Looks to me like that car's going to be heading for the back of the pits because there's no real activity around it. The mechanics are now getting ready to push it.
Here's Alan Grice coming up on the car at the moment. Prince Leopold von Bayern at the wheel. Prince of Bavaria.
It's always harder to pass the cars that are just about at your pace, like the slower cars you zoom past, but these other cars that you catch later in the race are sometimes very, very difficult to lap.
Rice has just given him a royal flush. He's off.
Here are our leaders, and they have gathered themselves back again. Soper still leads. Neeswitz is back within reach. And this is Dick Johnson under threat.
It's amazing how good these Europeans are, because I was talking to Jim Richards this morning and they opted to run the D5 softer compound today, which should work on a road circuit. The Texaco cars went for the harder D2s, and of course Jim flat spotted his tyres because obviously the pace out there is a lot harder than everybody thinks, and the new seal on lots of parts of the circuit are obviously being a lot tougher on the tyres than everybody would have thought.
Just to give you an idea of lap times, George Fury's sitting on round mid-34s, 134 that is. Trevor Crowe and Jim Richards, with Richards at the wheel, 135 a couple of laps ago, which is when they had the problem with the tyres. They've come back out and they're on 34s, high 34s, and Peter Brock consistently going around 35-4, 35-1, 35-2, 34-7 and 35-1. Peter Brock keeping on consistent pace. Jimmy Richards has done the same since he got back out again.
Well, here's Ludwig.
Having awful
Neeswitz, I
trouble
should say. Yes, making a run on Johnson. Johnson obviously is giving him a tough time.
Certainly not going to let him get by without having to work for it.
He's doing just that. That's a legacy of street racing in Wellington. You don't blame too much of that on drivers because it can happen. He's had a good old crease down the side door.
I gather it happened at the end of the straight in the Vision Higher corner by the Michael Fowler Centre. John Carple's in the pits. Let's see if we can get a word with Wayne Wilkinson.
Graham Cameron, you were at the wheel. What happened there?
Oh, I just gone round a slower car, understeered into the Armco.
And what is the condition of it now? What's the position?
Well, it's broken the steering rack, so we won't be able to go any further.
Rice goes through. He gets that close from time to time to Pirro, and then Pirro runs into traffic, and with the smaller car diving under cars in corners, he's able to open up that gap over a somewhat bigger machine in the Mobil. Commodore getting sideways. Bang crash in the guardrail. Grice drops it down and Sprague picks it up and off he goes. And that's all it needs. One little lapse in concentration and you can fold a fender over a tyre here at Wellington and cost yourself a race. Young Brancatelli coming down through here on the inside. Sorry about that. We'll just crease the wall. Grabbed almost by a Mark Pitch mechanical seal off the guardrail that time. Peter Brock just cooling off in the pit area.
Let's just have a look at what happened to one of the leaders a few moments ago. Steve Soper car, Soper Dudone. A little bit of a nudge with the Toyota Corolla there. The Corolla going straight ahead. And the Sierra turning left. We gather that Roberto Ravaglia is ready to get into the car, so that might be a sooner than expected pit stop for the 46 car. And meantime, one of the Volvos is had a little off onto the fence.
That was incredible. That's the Ubix Copier's car. Oh, sorry about the guardrail. The pace car is out because
it's the same fella that hit the wall. Inky Tulloch, I think, was at the wheel at the time. He's got the smoky blues there right at the moment. And the car not responding terribly well, as you'd expect.
Well, Brocky thinks it's amusing.
There's drama in the pits. They've got to restart from the pace car situation. And Emanuele Pirro has come in. They're out of gas. They didn't really have any option for Roberto Ravaglia to get in the car. Pirro out, Ravaglia in.
Well, they've set him a task and a half. Let me tell you, I think probably if they had the said the Muvison trick, the Sturmitz, but he hasn't dropped a lap. He's got a lot of time to make up though. Well, 31's in a slight spot of bother. That's the Volvo parking lot down there.
It's extremely difficult because offline it's very dirty. The surface is breaking down a bit. So if you make a little mistake, you go a bit offline, or just to overtake the back markers is very difficult. So you want to be really concentrated, and maybe by the end of the race something will change, because it's very difficult to make a mistake.
Correct me if I'm wrong, did you say the track is breaking up?
Yeah, the surface is breaking up a little bit.
There's another incident to David Parsons in the Peter Brock car, locks up a front brake, then has to turn it very sharply, bicycles, through the left-hander at Drake. That's where Gricey put one backwards into the guardrail a little earlier this afternoon. Inside rear comes off the ground. He manages to hold control of the car, and Percy was sitting right in behind him, and in fact Percy about to put a lap on David Parsons in the Brockmobile number 5. Meanwhile, the Mobil number 10 machine is in. David Oxton is out of the car. Should be Neil Crompton going in.
Looking at the in the Texaco pit at the moment, the car number 7, the Klaus Needveed's car, lapping at around 134.7, and I think that vibration that Steve Soper spoke about earlier on is still persisting within the car, because they are almost 2 seconds a lap slower. So there is obviously a problem with car 6, even though at this point it doesn't appear to be that serious. They're down and around about 5th position, but certainly not making up too much ground at the moment. But hats off to Win Percy. He's doing a wonderful job out there in the Bob Jane T-Mart Chickadee Commodore.
Oh, there's a problem there for the second Brock car. It's David Oxton in it. David Oxton at the wheel, no one else around. He's under brakes there. He lifts the wheel. Well, he had a little bit of a lock-up, but I don't think that was the problem. I think it might be some oil on the rear tyres there. Certainly she's smoking.
David, exactly what happened there?
We're not sure yet, but we think it's support arm for the rear axle. It's just pulled right out of the body.
It's the Johnson Hansford car, and looks like the death knell.
Well, it couldn't go any worse today for the Johnson Shell DDB Needham team.
News at the moment, by the way, is that Steve Soper has been reinstated to second place. In the official resulting, we have the Texaco Sierras back to 1-2 as we watch this pit stop with Grice getting in. There's a little bit of a delay there. Or is there?
Percy jumped out and went round the side of the car, which is great, except Percy's doing a bit of supervising as well. Grice standing in the background doesn't know what to make of all this. Nope. The race for Alan Grice and Win Percy might well be over.
Pierre Dudonné is quite confident, but looking at that car, Neil Crompton, it's losing gas. The black flag has come out. They've been asked to come into the pits and check out that fuel system.
When we show a black flag here, we require for the driver to come in immediately. That is a rule.
Three times you have to show. You did it only once. The second or the third time you missed it. So give him a chance. We did it.
It is the Sturmitz-Moivesen car. 2 women appear to be out of contention, but the story at the moment is that this car, the 46 car with Roberto Revelia at the wheel, is catching. He is 14 or 15 seconds behind Klaus Ludwig.
Here's another boy that's done very well today, Tony Longhurst, sharing the Bimmer with Alfred Hager. Tony, of course, runs with Jim Richards and the JPS BMW team in Australia. Came over basically to spectate. Oh, problems here. The number 6 Texaco having a lose.
I knew it had happened, Mike. I knew it had happened. Every time you say they haven't put a foot wrong and they're going beautifully and haven't done anything wrong all day, they do it.
That anxious moment for the number 6 car with Steve Soper won't affect the outcome, because heading down Jervois Key, what will be just about the last time, is Klaus Ludwig. And this will wrap up the Down Under series for the Eggenberger team. Steve Soper, of course, taking first place in the James Hardy 1000 in Australia at Bathurst, and also wrapping up the Calder 500 a few weeks ago. Now the 7 car comes back into calculations with Klaus Ludwig and Klaus Needsvets. That will keep their World Championship hopes well and truly alive, and almost put it beyond doubt as they head to Japan just over a fortnight for the final of the 87 World Touring Car title.
People starting to gather now along the pit wall, anticipating a finish. Now watch the officials to see when, in fact, they're going to bring out the checkered flag. When enough time has elapsed, we made it a 1:50 4:15 start, which makes a 5:15 finish. 4 hours or 500 k's, whichever comes sooner. And the checkered flag is out now for Klaus Ludwig. Robbie Lester waves the checkered flag, and Klaus Ludwig has won the Nissan Mobil 500. In second place will be Roberto Revelia. This is Revelia in the 46 car, coming down to take the checkered flag in second place. In third place will be Steve Soper and Pierre Dieudonné. Soper driving at the moment after his little spin. Still back on target. They'll take third from Fury and Seaton. The headlights blazing as Steve Soper comes down, taking the checkered flag in third place, and right behind him, George Fury and Glenn Seaton in the Nissan Skyline Turbo, with Fury at the wheel. And the wave there from Klaus Ludwig.